All right, today we are cutting off the fenders and installing jacks. So we bought some jacks, bought 4 of those, and we're gonna weld those up. My dad's busy mocking the first one up. We're trying to figure out where it wants to go and how to make everything level and all that. But yeah, so we just have to weld those on, cut the fenders, and then we should be good to bring it back to my house. I don't see why we shouldn't. So hopefully everything goes nice and smooth. And yeah, it's just those 2 little things and we're good. So I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but we'll see. So these are the jacks we're using. They're Butler product jacks, rated for 2,250 pounds. And they're just stuff we found at a welding shop or like a metalworking shop, and these were nice and they seemed good enough for us. They got a side crank here and it barely clears this, so I don't know, I might just cut this off and put a bolt head on there so I can use a drill and to jack it up. I think that'll be a lot easier and save me a lot of cranking time. But basically you just weld this this piece on here. This comes off, pin comes out, and then they turn. I'm struggling to do this with one hand, so give me a break. Pin comes out, and this thing comes like this. So all we have to do is weld these to the trailer, and then it'll be able to pivot around this. Hopefully these should be sufficient. I think they will be. I don't see a problem with it. So there's one mocked up right now, and these should be tall enough to level the whole trailer. I don't know if we do come across something where the trailer's tilted a lot and we need to level it out, I can just put a piece of wood under the jack and that'll solve that, because I'm not going to be anywhere permanently. So that's that. All right, got our first jack welded on. Welder's giving us a little bit of problems. Doesn't want to feed well, but we got it. And it just pivots up like that. What I'm doing here, what I just did here, is there was a little bit of this fender liner, I guess you would call it, up top, and I just cut it off because we're dropping the whole fender so we have more space on the inside. So what I did is just took actually like 3 cutting wheels to cut this off, and we're gonna drop it a little bit and put this fender back on, weld it back on, and that way we lose a little bit of space. So we're trying to take the lug nuts off the trailer so we can get the wheels off. And they're really on there. Broke that. Broke something. Broke an extension too, so we'll see. Figured out we don't have to take the wheels off. We can just use this as a lever. It's a lot easier than hammering this whole thing back to normal. Okay, so we cut the inside piece there, and now what we're doing is we have the fender pushed all the way back here, and we're just gonna weld it along here. I want to make sure it's all level and stuff. So my dad's tacking it for me so I can go back and finish up all the welds. Okay, so we're back. We left, I don't know where the video is gonna cut exactly, but we're back. I'm sorry for the grinding in the background, but where we left the last time is we had to take off the wheels so we could weld a little bit more, and the lug nuts weren't coming off, so they're like really stuck on there. So what we're gonna do now is we're trying to take them off. We have an impact and a socket, and the impact's not even taking them off. I'm checking the air pressure now, which is low. So we need to figure out what all we need to do there, and then we can get going. We can start welding. We have got to cut one more piece and weld everything back together, and then we're good to go. So if we can get these wheels off, we should be out of here today. I've said that a gazillion times already, but today should be the day. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so the air compressor in the shop doesn't have enough air to move the bolts on the lug nuts on the trailer. So I gotta go mess with this, and hopefully we can get it. My dad says this is a lever. I don't see a lever. Huh. Yeah. That feels wrong. Oh, because it goes... What? I just bent it. It was facing this way.
Yeah, it's not kicking on. Oh, there's the problem.
Oh.
Damn it.
Broke?
Yeah, I don't think the compressor is gonna work.
That's not good. Does she have a breaker bar somewhere? So what we're doing to put these jacks on, because they didn't have enough space to just be welded up here. There's not enough clearance there. So we took some of our angle iron that's left, and we're just gonna weld it in there like that. And that should be sturdy enough, hopefully. And if not, we can always support it by putting a piece of metal in there like that. All right, air compressor is charging, if you can hear it. I got this thing, which is really fun. Makes me feel like a pit crew. But let's get started. F1, where's my job? Some of these just don't want to come loose. It's just this wheel, there's like 4 of them. 5 of them stuck on there. We tried it with the impact and that didn't want to come off. And that's not coming off either. Oh man. We'll see.
mocking up this side, tack it on, and then finish up the welds while we jack it up in the air.
Instead of using boring old jacks to jack the trailer up, we're gonna use a forklift because it's way easier. So we'll pull it around there and just pick the whole back end up so we can take the wheels off and stuff. Ta-da! Alright, so wheels are off. This gives us a good chance to inspect everything and make sure it's all good. And check the suspension and all that. But really what we're after is underneath here, the fender comes all the way down to here, and you can see where we welded it on the other side just to tack it in place. So what we're gonna do is weld it all on the inside. All up there we need to weld. And make sure it's all nice and sturdy because there's gonna be some weight on this. And we don't want it to break, and we want it to be able to be watertight. But the welding won't seal it watertight. We're gonna use some silicone to do that. Alright, I'm ending the video here. When you're cleaning and doing all that stuff, like right before you're about to go, I tend to forget to close out the video. So as I'm editing it now, I realize that, so I'm ending the video here. I can just do a little bit of recap. Basically, we tacked on a bunch of stuff and ran out of time. You know, gotta go home and sleep. So basically, all I gotta do is go back, weld on a little bit more, and then we're good to go. So yeah, all's what we did. You saw it all. We just welded everything on, tacked it all on so I can go and finish all the welds up.